They've gone and broken something once again. Our billion-dollar company making tens of millions of dollars every single month at least, and their small team have a hard time keeping up with all of this content that they have to release. So I do feel bad for them, really. So there's been a little bit of development recently where our current Annihilio Soul Raid is being cancelled, or rather suspended, and everyone is getting first place rewards. You might be wondering what exactly happened. Maybe you haven't seen. Some people have already made videos about it before it even happened. Bugs in Soul Raid have become a bit of a tradition for Nikke, so to speak. And the gist of it is that you are essentially able to get more shots out of your SBS by lowering your game's FPS to 30. However, the problem extends further than just putting your FPS at 30, because if you find a way to limit the FPS that Nikke runs at on your computer, you're then able to get even more damage out of SBS by lowering it further than 30. That's where the main problem lies, because now people are using third-party software to get more damage in Soul Raids. And apparently, before, this was not a thing. Now, it came up because of the way that they made this boss. They have, once again, created another bug that didn't actually exist before. How wonderful. Bugs in Soul Raids and bugs in general in Nikke have been so common that at one point they even said this, that they will strengthen their overall QA system to minimize these issues as much as possible. Well, instead it more felt like they toned down boss mechanics in order to have less bugs. We went from bosses like Behemoth to bosses like Gluttony. Just think, how many of the recent Soul Raids have you actually had to seriously try for mechanics and not just I'll repeatedly try over and over again to hit a higher score? At some point last year, maybe it was on an interview or something, but they said they will be focusing on making sure that they will not have bugs. And again, it would appear that the way they went about that was by trying to make every boss as simple as possible. Now, this does have multiple effects on the way that we get these boss raids and what they actually play like, because by simplifying all mechanics to basically maybe cover at a certain point in time, you cut out skill as much as possible from the raid, from that boss. So, it ends up being a thing where, in every case, just simply having more money spent for the units, you will end up with a better result than someone who has spent less, which obviously is a great business move. Now, considering they're already giving us the frame as well, it's highly likely that this raid is not coming back. A lot of people have spent their resources to upgrade units for this Soul Raid, including myself, and now we're just kind of left with without that accomplishment or anything. Apparently there is a sentiment in the JP Nikke community about this because they do not like having everyone have the frame 3 of a solo raid. I get it. However, that is exactly why I think that they are simply going to close this solo raid now and move on. They have summer now, and they're going to be most likely selling you a limited 1% Pilgrim unit, and that is going to be more important to them. I think they are afraid of restarting Solo Raid and it again being bugged and pissing people off even more right before they sell a 1% Pilgrim Limited banner. Well, let's hope that there's not another bug on that one, huh? Well, the video isn't over because they've just gone and released another announcement by the time that I got around to editing my video. And the TLDR of this is they will buff SBS and LEG. Nobody cares about that, but SBS will have a slight buff to match the bugged damage. And, drumroll please, they have listened to the Japanese complaints, obviously mainly from the whales, who care a lot about not having everyone get the frame. And therefore, they have called back giving everybody the frame specifically. The materials and everything will still be given out. And the Soul Raid will restart once again to have as normal. We will skip these stages and get right to the big raid. But we will have all of the materials from first place and whatnot that they had already given us. They promised those to us. They also said stuff about, paying more attention and not getting bugs and stuff like that, but man, that's been said so many times already that, come on, are we gonna believe it this time? Anyway, that's the gist of it. Being fair here, it was the best response. It is understandable that they would listen to the biggest community, right? The Japanese side. It only makes sense. So all in all, it was a fair response. And because they have removed the frame from these rewards, they promised us a different frame to represent bugs, I suppose, in the game. They promised us a different frame on July 2nd as the compensation frame, which basically, covers all of their bases, I suppose. You don't really have something to nitpick and complain about with this sort of response. So, very good response, to be fair. But once again, they also have to actually follow through in making sure that we don't get that many bugs anymore. But if you're gonna listen to that and believe it, yeah, be my guest. But I'll believe it when I actually start seeing it. But that's about it. I guess that wraps up this saga, huh? Good luck on the actual raid again, which is hopefully fixed and definitely will not have another bug that they will have to call back again. Let's not get too rude with that, right? Let's let him have this one. Let's let him have this W.